He says climate change is a threat to our national security, and he says Alaska has the resources to lead the way on renewable energy and help protect our nation. Vice Admiral Dennis McGinn came to Alaska this week to spread that message. But in a state where oil and gas has always ruled, will Alaskans be willing to listen?
Thinning sea ice, a stampede of walruses, erosion in coastal villages, all signs of climate change, all right here in Alaska.
Alaska is the ground zero of climate change, energy security, and national security.
Vice Admiral Dennis McGinn is a member of the Military Advisory Board of the Washington, D.C. think tank CNA. He and several former 3- and 4-star military generals have been studying climate change and what it means for national security.
We're military professionals, but we really understand national security and how threats can be a little bit ambiguous, and climate change is one of those. It's a very complex threat. It takes a long time to develop. It manifests itself in a lot of different ways in different places around the world.
In May, the group released this report. McGinn says unpredictable weather can lend itself to any type of natural disaster, like a hurricane that takes out oil rigs.
And the effect on our economy and by extension our national security because of something like that.
He says make no mistake about energy use. Reducing our reliance on foreign energy sources improves our security. McGinn is in Alaska this week to propose that Alaska can lead the way when it comes to renewable energy.
I think Alaska can serve as a real leading state in our country, be a real part of the solution because of the richness of energy choices that Alaskans have available.
McGinn points to wind, solar, geothermal, and hydroelectric energy in Alaska. One successful project already, the hydroelectric plant in King Cove, Alaska.
King Cove has been a renewable energy community since 1994 when the Delta Creek hydroelectric facility was constructed. It's been in operation since that point in time, and it currently produces about 60% of the annual demand for power in the city of King Cove.
8 months out of the year, the community is able to run exclusively on hydroelectric energy.
These folks started hydroelectric power long before it was fashionable, long before the price of oil got high. They knew their energy needs, their future, and they did something about it.
Tom Irwin, the Commissioner of Natural Resources in Alaska, says this is the wave of the future.
It's the way our state's got to go. It's the way our nation's got to go.
But even in a state that has always relied on its oil and gas,
business as usual is not a viable option. It gets more painful every year that goes by that we don't do something about our energy posture and about the production of greenhouse gases.
McGinn is hopeful local, state, and federal leaders will see it his way, because as he sees it, it's the only way to a more secure future.
Another reason McGinn points to Alaska to lead the way is that we've taken on massive projects like the pipeline, for instance, and we know how long it takes to build the infrastructure that's so necessary for energy.
Well, Meg, does McGinn think that lawmakers are doing enough here in Alaska?
He does not. He does not. But we should say that he just doesn't think lawmakers anywhere or that state, local, federal governments are doing enough in this arena to really put it out there and work on these renewable energy resources. He said it's going to take a public, private sector, everyone coming together to make it happen.
Interesting angle. Very interesting. Thanks, Meg.